You are tapped in with Caden. It is being reported that a judge for the Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury rematch is being replaced just one day before the fight. And a lot of fans on social media are upset, particularly Alexander Usyk fans who feel like it's corruption and the fix is in. They mainly because Turkey Al-Sheikh publicly stated he wants a trilogy, and for that to happen, Tyson Fury must beat Alexander Usyk. We're going to take a look at this article on Boxing Scene, and we'll discuss what's true, what's real. And it states, experienced Steve Weissfeld set to replace ESPN's Fernando Barboza as judge for Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury 2. All right. And the article states, New Jersey Steve Weissfeld looks likely to step in for Miami's Fernando Barboza as a judge for Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury rematch, though that was yet to be confirmed before the end of Friday morning's rules meeting in Saudi Arabia. The vastly experienced Weissfeld, who traveled to Riyadh Thursday night, will be familiar with both parties. He had Fury ahead at the point of stopping Deontay Wilder in both their rematch and third encounter, and he scored Usyk a 116-112 victor over Anthony Joshua in their first encounter. Barboza withdrew due to illness. On Wednesday, Boxing Scene reported that Barboza also works for Disney and ESPN, the broadcaster Fury's U.S. promoter Top Rank currently works alongside. It is understood that Weissfeld was one of two choices to replace him. The rematch of the world heavyweight title fight won by Usyk via split decision in May will be refereed by Puerto Rico's Roberto Ramirez Jr. The other judges are Ramirez's countrymen Geraldo Martinez and Chicago's Pat Murley. That's what they state. Now, here's a few things to unpack here. The first is on Wednesday, Boxing Scene stated that they reported that Barboza worked for Disney and ESPN, which means that there may be a conflict of interest if he referees the fight, because he works for Top Rank, and Top Rank is a co-promoter with Tyson Fury. Top Rank is Tyson Fury's co-promoter and basically his promoter for his fights in the United States of America. And that was reported on Wednesday. And now he's being replaced with Steve Weissfeld, and they said he withdrew due to illness. Now, the reason why I put the quotes in on illness is that's the same reason why Israel Madrimov pulled out of his fight with Boachuk, which was supposed to take place on the undercard of Fury versus Usyk, but then he ended up agreeing to fight Virgil Ortiz on February 22nd, right? And so everyone was talking about how that would be such a short turnaround. And I won't just say everyone, particularly me, I was public about it. I don't think that's long enough. He's not going to have a long enough training camp. If the fight with Boachuk takes a toll on him and is close and is physically taxing, then they're going to have to bring in someone else. So Madrimov withdrew because of an illness. Now we have Barboza withdrawn because of an illness. But is it a real illness? No. It's been exposed that this guy also works for Disney and ESPN and Top Rank, which may be a potential conflict of interest when he's judging Tyson Fury. So now they're bringing in Steve Weissfeld, someone who has scored in favor of Usyk, a pretty decent scorecard for the first fight with Anthony Joshua, and seemed to have had the fights scored correctly for Tyson Fury in his fights with Deontay Wilder. So this guy is experienced in, I would say, an upgrade from someone who actually has ties to ESPN and Disney. So if they're doing anything, they're trying to stop corruption. They're trying to make it, impartial, or trying to make it as fair as possible, it would seem. But yes, it is interesting that this judge is being removed one day before the fight, and it's with this illness. You know, he wasn't aware of this illness before he got to Saudi Arabia. But be that as it may, right, I do think this is an attempt to make sure that the right person wins, not an attempt to sway the fight in Tyson Fury's favor. Because if they wanted to do that, they would have kept the guy on who works for ESPN and Disney, who work alongside Top Rank, Tyson Fury's American promoter. But Let me know what you think. Does it even matter? Are you still like, oh, the fact he was even selected, and it seems like they're doing their due diligence. It seems like they're running these checks. They're doing these background checks. And salute the Ring Magazine for catching that. I mean, not Ring Magazine, but salute to Boxing Scene for catching that. And Boxing Scene reported on it on Wednesday, and now they're getting rid of the guy. This is what we need. We need people to speak up. We need people to talk. So I think that is great that they're getting rid of this guy. They're bringing in Steve Weissfeld, and they said that both sides already knew that it was possible that Steve Weissfeld would be the replacement. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not a thing, but then again, just because this guy works for ESPN and Disney doesn't mean that he was going to have a bad scorecard. But again, it is still a conflict of interest, and you want to eliminate any possible corruption that you can. So actually, this seems like an attempt to eliminate corruption, and it seems like an attempt to keep things fair, in my personal opinion. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. It's Caden. Oh, yes, and you can listen to this. You can catch some of these videos and some of what I say on my podcast, which is available on all major streaming services. Same name, Caden's Kerfuffle. Thank you. I'm out. Peace.